Hello guys, welcome to the first bit of video notes for, excuse me, too far. This is the start of Chapter 8, and today we're mainly looking at 8.1. So here are just kind of a few properties of equality. A lot of this section of Foundations 2 has to deal with proofs and, just kind of properties of, of equality that we show right here. So to kind of get us started here, we have all these different properties filled out. So if you need to pause and write all this down, you can, but just kind of going through some of them. And a lot of this is going to sound like stuff we've done before, like addition property. All you're doing is adding the same thing to both sides of the equal sign. Subtraction is the same except for subtraction. Multiplication property, multiplying the same thing on both sides. Divide, it's basically all the same thing, okay? Distributive property, you multiply number in front of parentheses by everything. So again, that's kind of if you have like a 3 with an x plus 5 right here, you distribute that out. And then last but not least, combine like terms. We've done that before. That's, 5x plus 7x equals 12x. All right, so we've seen some of that stuff before. Okay. So a lot of this chapter deals with what we call two-column proofs. Okay. Now, left side, which this is the left, that's the right. Left side is the statement of the statement that is given. So statement is given. And then the right side is the reason, or a lot of times it's the property. And a lot of times it's the property. It's the property that we can use in order to go from, say, this down to this, okay? Okay, so let's actually write a kind of small one out. So we're going to give this equation 4x plus 7 equals 35. And we want to prove that x equals 7, that x is equal to 7. So basically we solve this at x equals 7. So now most of you guys know how to solve this, but, but again, we're trying to get into this idea of, writing proofs of it. So the first thing we do, first statement, 4x plus 7 equals 35. That's in our given, okay? Now the first thing you want to do is look at what is given, because if it's a statement right here, your reason is just given. And majority of the times, the first 1, 2, maybe even 3 statement reasons are going to be given, okay? Because you see it up here, right? It's this right here. Now I'm going to kind of solve it right over here. 4x plus 7 is equal to 35. Now, generally when we solve this, we subtract a 7 on both sides to get 4x equals 28. So, how do I know I can go from this to this? Well, subtraction. And you can write property, or write subtraction property. Okay. Now, how do I get from this to x equals 7? Well, generally, 4x equals 28. Divide the 4 on both sides. That's dividing on both sides, so the reason is going to be the division property, or just division property. Okay? And again, if you guys need to slow this video down at all, just let me, pause it, write what you have to write down, and keep continuing. We'll continue. Okay. So again, we're going to solve the equation right here. So again, first statement that we're going to write here is, well, the original equation. And the reason we're doing that is because it is given. We always write the given first. All right, given always goes first. And we want to somehow get from here to x equals 1. So again, let's just solve this out. You can use this as scratch work if you'd like. Okay. So generally speaking, I got a 6 out in front of the numbers here. You distribute those, all right, to get negative 12x plus 30 is equal to 18. Okay. So from here to here, I know I can do this because I distributed. All right, this is let's call it a little distributed here. because of distributive property. So I'm just write distributive property. Okay. Now, once I'm here, what do I generally do? Well, usually we subtract the 30 on both sides. Get negative 12x is equal to 18 minus 30 is, I want to say, negative 12. And we know that we can go, so we go from here to negative 12x equals negative 12. And, darn it. And why do we know that? Well, because I took this 30 and subtracted it on both sides. So that is the subtraction property. Alright, and then generally with negative 12x equals negative 12, we just divide that out. And then this cancels for x. This will just cancel out to give us x equal 1. So over here we will write x equals 1, and the way that we know this is because we divided negative 12 on both sides, so we used the division property. Okay. Once again, slow it down, go back, see what you need to write down. We'll move on here. Okay, so we have 10x plus 1 is equal to 3x plus 8. And we need to solve this out, prove x equals 1. So what is the first thing that you write? It should be the given statement. So that's just 10x plus 1 is equal to 3x plus 8. You just see given, write this down. And the reason we know it is because it's given. Okay, now, again, I'm going to do this over here now. So we're going to skip a few steps here with this. So we have 3x. So generally what we should do now, again, if we're trying to solve this, you all should know how to solve this. Subtract that 3x over. And we're also going to subtract that 1 over. That's 10x minus 3x is equal to go 8 minus 1. Okay? And then this simplifies down to 7x, because 10x minus 3x is 7x, and 7. Okay? So our next statement and we're kind of skipping a few steps here, but the next statement would be 7x equals 7. If we added, actually wait, no. We need to go backwards. Disregard what I just told you. I'm going to write this as the next thing. So 10x minus 3x is equal to 8 minus 1. And once again, the reason that we know this is because we subtracted on both sides. So our reason is subtraction. And I'll just write subtraction prop for that. Okay? Now, we've already gone from here to here because what did we do? We did 10x minus 3x. What does that sound like? That is combining like terms. All right? Because you are adding the x and the negative 3x together. So, we write down from here now, 7x equals 7. Because we combine the like terms, I'm going to write combine like terms. Also abbreviate to CLT if you'd like. And then finally 7x equals 7. Well, the way that we figure that out, again, divide that 7 on both sides. Okay? You get x equals 1 for that. Okay, so we know from here, the reason I get to x equals 1 is because I divided on both sides. So division property. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. And kind of skip this one for right now. We'll kind of go to these reflexive, symmetric, and transitive properties here. So basically, what we know about reflexive property, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Reflexive property. For that, you know that A equals A, and that's pretty self-explanatory. 2 is equal to 2, we know that. Negative 5 is equal to negative 5. Those are all examples of the reflexive property. Okay. Now the symmetric property. Now the symmetric property. If A is equal to B, then B is equal to A. Okay, and then transitive, you know, some of you know this one. If A equals B and B equals C, then actually I'm going to change my grammar a little bit here. There we go. Then A is equal to C. Alright, that is it. That's where we'll end it for today. You guys do have an 8.1 practice set A that will be assigned, or that should have already been assigned during class. Get to work on that. We will go over this when I come back. Thank you.